Now call the meeting of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners to order. Please rise for a moment of silence, prayer, and the Pledge of Allegiance. O Lord, giver of life and source of our freedom, we thank you for the many blessings you have given our community. Today, we ask that you pray and take care of our families, of those that we have lost in the many wars in trying to protect our freedom. I especially pray for the safety of the children and the care that they need to become responsible of our adults. Thank you. We ask this in your name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of preparing accurate written minutes. Recordings are overwritten following approval of the minutes, eliminating all unofficial records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held May 18th, 2023.
Motion approved. Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Nosang.
Yes. Are there any guests concerning county business at this time? Yes, sir. Please state your name and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Brandon Fogel. I live in the Heights here in Jim Thorpe, and I'm here representing the group Save Carbon County. I'm sure you guys are at least somewhat familiar with us. We had a lot to do with the pipeline fight and the land requisition, or the thing on the last ballot. We're a local group that deals with things that we see as threats to the county, and we just wanted to keep you guys appraised of a project that we've been working on. Has to do with the land application of sewage sludge. I don't know how familiar you are with that particular issue, but it just has to do with the solids from septic system or from large septic treatment plants being dried out and put on farmland, which in theory doesn't sound all that bad, honestly, but large septic treatment plants like that can't necessarily remove all of the things that would be of concern, like heavy metals, things like that, but most notably PFAs. Which are becoming more and more of an issue as people are becoming aware of how threatening they are. The federal government is looking to start regulating PFAs at this point, and we're not really testing for them here. Most places that apply septic sludge wind up testing positive for PFAs, and it's been a big problem in other states with farmland getting contaminated without them realizing it because they're told that it's safe, and then all of a sudden you need to decontaminate a large swath of farmland. We felt that that was a threat here because there are several farms here that are taking sewage sludge as fertilizer. And currently, local governments are not allowed to regulate that. It's something that they absolutely can't stop. So what we've been doing is going around to local townships or municipalities and getting them to sign on a resolution. I've got a copy of it here if you guys don't have it. That we're in favor of letting local townships regulate the land application of sewage sludge through a change to the Right to Farm Act. So that's just what we're working on currently. Wanted to keep you guys updated on it because right now currently we have 16 local governments that have signed on to it. We've got a couple more that have it pending, but eventually we'll come to you guys with it as well and see whether you push it for us.
If you have that with us, with you today, if you would leave a copy with us so we can look at it, etc. And I would agree with you, especially with the DEP and allowing everything to come in from out of state is even more alarming than anything else. And
Yes.
why is it good enough for Pennsylvania and not their own home states?
Exactly. If it's a great product, why are they giving it to us for free?
That's right.
You know,
Exactly. So,
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you very much for that. And yeah, we don't want to see local farmers wind up in the same situation that they have in Maine right now, where they've got a bunch of like 50 farms shut down until they can find a way to decontaminate the soil because they've been doing this. And right now, it's being done here, as though it's no problem, you know, because we just don't test for the things that are actually the problem.
Yeah, and I know like years ago, you couldn't put human waste anywhere where somebody ate something.
Yes,
And,
it's,
but I think what our issue is, like, I think is it us or is it DEP? Because I said, I researched and we all did what was going on at the Palmer and Phil site. And I don't think we ever got an answer what was in the fill, what was brought here. And I think like Commissioner Notesign said, we don't even know what's coming in here. They don't even give us the report on what's in that fill.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is something that I think, I mean, it's a good idea that you're trying this, but I think we have to get to the upper levels of the legislators and everything and say, you know what, this gotta stop.
Yes, we decided to start small, you know, and get
Yeah.
a lot of the locals on board with it, and then start taking it larger when we had all of that support.
Yeah,
That's the idea.
And we have nice property around here and they wanna make it into a dump site.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
when they wanna expand, they should keep the dump site where they live.
Yeah, one of the main things that we're looking to address is the Right to Farm Act used to be like a really good piece of legislation that just protected farmers. But then like large corporate interests got involved with it and made it apply to things like land application to sewage sludge, industrial hog farming, things like that. That keeps local governments from regulating any of that. And honestly, our main goal with this is just to make local governments able to regulate that again. We're not proposing any specific expanding of the legislation. We're not even necessarily pushing banning of sewage sludge. We just want local governments to be able to look at it and make their own decision rather than having it forced on them.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Como. Any other guests concerning county business? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on.
Report of executive sessions held.
There was one executive session held on Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023 for personnel reasons.
Budget transfers as listed on transmittal.
Motion approved. Second.
Mr. Arner.
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Supplemental appropriations.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner.
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Expenditures. Approval of payroll check numbers 75042 through 75060 and direct deposit check numbers 6053344 through 6053777 for the payroll paid through the payroll fund checking account for all county funds totaling $643,008.26.
Move to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Approval of check numbers 236244 through 236635 for expenditures through the general fund clearing account totaling $1,153,354.65.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Treasurer's report.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. At this time, we'll recess the commissioners' meeting and reconvene our salary board meeting. Okay? Call the salary board, reconvene the meeting of the salary board from May 18th. Are there any guests concerning salary board business? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Purchasing Department, change the
Wait,
rate
wait,
of...
1 second, Hobbs. Report of executive sessions, there was one held on May 18th, 2023 at 1 PM.
Purchasing Department, change the rate of one purchasing manager from $16.80 per hour, grade S2, step A, to $20.40 per hour, grade S2, step I, effective June 5th, 2023.
Move to change the rate.
Second.
Mr. Spurcheck?
Yes.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Okay. Being no further business for the salary board, meeting adjourned until next week. Well, it'll be our monthly meeting, okay?
Personnel report for the county departments.
Move to approve.
And I'll second that, but I do want to make a comment. We did hire a new person that I think everybody sees that, but I think maybe I'll pick on that person next meeting once they're here. But we do have a new HR director, that is Samantha Giovella, that's sitting in the back of the room. And I think she's gonna bring some good ideas to us. We're looking for the young people, so anybody that's looking for a job, send an application to her, because she's in charge of the applications. So I'm hoping after the meeting that maybe the Times News or either the Channel 13 can sort of like ask her some questions, what her future is looking like for the county. How's that? See, I wasn't gonna pick on these two, I had somebody already. So, well, thank you for, coming here and congratulations on your position.
Nothing like putting her on the spot.
I tried doing that once, and see how they handle pressure. She's all right with pressure, I see now.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes,
Acknowledgements for the courts and row offices.
Motion acknowledged.
second.
Discussion. There's a leave of absence listed there, the justification for granting a leave of absence.
Not too sure that,
I mean,
I would ask, wait. If it's even, anything to do with HIP or anything, or FMLA, I guess would, but
Does the courts want to provide any insight into the leave of absence? It doesn't, I don't see anything. Indicate reason for leave on attached sheet.
I'll be glad to address the issue if you'd like. This was discussed at the executive session that was held this past week. Unfortunately, two commissioners weren't able to attend, and therefore do not know what was discussed. Angela Salemi is a court stenographer. She was hired by the court not quite 2 years ago. She came from Luzerne County. She was the lead stenographer in Luzerne County. I believe was making in the vicinity of $90,000 a year. She came here, we were glad to get her, we were fortunate to get her. She comes out of Kingston. She's exploring another job opportunity up there. And she asked if she'd be granted a leave of absence. We reviewed the leave of absence policy for the county, and it indicates that a leave of absence can be granted for personal reasons. I discussed it at the executive session, and I was advised that that was within my authority, and I would have the right to grant a leave of absence. So I've permitted her to have a leave of absence. The only thing that's on the agenda, as I understand it, is an acknowledgement by the commissioners of the leave of absence that was granted. So it's within the court's discretion up until that executive session. That's what the request is for.
So if I understand correctly, a leave of absence is given so an individual can go test the waters of another employment opportunity?
It includes that, but I think you're being short-sighted and not seeing the big picture. The big picture is, unfortunately, court stenographers are in very short supply. It's very difficult to get them. As I've indicated, we were fortunate to get Angela. I believe that if she is not granted a leave of absence, and if she does not like what she's considering up in Luzerne County, she will not return here, because past practice of this county has been, if they resign and they come back, they start from square one. They lose all benefits, they do not return to the salary they had, and she wants to avoid that from occurring. In the past, when we lost court stenographers, it has taken at times up to a year, perhaps more, to get another court stenographer. The expense of that to the county, unfortunately, is probably more than having an employee remain as a court stenographer. The only detriment to the county to this is that it delays my posting by about 35 days, 45 days. So to me, it's a good thing for the court and hopefully the commissioners to encourage a leave of absence under these circumstances. This is not a position that
And I would say, Judge Navik, it does unfortunately, though, also start a precedence that other row officers who indicate they have 1620 authorities will start doing similar actions to the detriment in the long term, right? Having that vision that I have of seeing the issues that this is gonna create by acknowledging this. I think we're doing a detriment to the best practices, hiring, firing, and managing personnel. We're opening Pandora's box by the Board of Commissioners acknowledging this.
Except that I believe
Yeah.
that most people who look at things, the decision should be made on a case-by-case basis.
Sure, agree.
There should not be an across-the-board policy that says, under no circumstances do we allow
Right.
this to happen.
Yeah.
There are mitigating and justifying circumstances to permit this in this instance. And that's why I considered it. I discussed it at the meeting we had last week. I think it's justified, I think it's appropriate. Ultimately, I think it's in the benefit of the town. I don't know if she's gonna return. I hope she will return,
Right.
but I don't know at this moment.
Thanks for your explanation, appreciate it.
I would add that we're working in extreme times in the retention and in getting good qualified employees. And I think we have to take every avenue that we have to try to retain a lot of our employees. We have already lost how many employees this year? And not all it's the funds or the money. A lot of it is the way they have been treated by someone here in this office. We have at least 4 people that have left because of what is going on. I think we really have to step back and really look at what we are doing to our employees. We're at an all-time low. I think, look what we did already today at the salary board meeting, giving somebody $20.47 an hour with no experience, when this board refused to give that to any of the existing employee at the time who did have experience. So then we wonder why we have so many people leaving. We have at least 5, 6 department heads that have left because of the way they were treated, being treated unfairly by the salary board, by the commissioners. And we have got to turn the tables on the exodus of our employees.
Jen, could you look back at the minutes and tell me how Commissioner Notstein voted in regards to the purchasing director? Was that a nay or a yay?
Currently,
How did he vote?
the one just now.
Yes, the one we just did. Was it, he voted yes. All right.
Well, exactly, and I understand, and I was the one that submitted a higher, an increase for that purchasing director, and you voted no in the January meeting. So I want to hear how, I agree that the salary should have been up there. I made that motion in January, and you voted no.
You
So-
made a motion contrary to the salary study recommendations, which a majority of the commissioners felt was best to be adopted in its entirety, and you were against that.
Let me point something out in the summary of the salary study. The objectives of the study were to attract and retain qualified employees.
Attract, I see individuals who we have hired to replace individuals who departed as highly qualified. One sits in front of us. One we just have set a salary for today. We have an election director who has done an incredible job after just 63 days on a job running a primary election. So I think we've done very well attracting and hiring highly qualified individuals.
I think we could do a lot better.
Well, I think then that's disrespectful to this individual sitting in front of us, to the individual who was just in front of the salary board for a salary, the election director. And I don't think we can do better. And I'm very fortunate fortunate to
Well, I
have
think
those
we can certainly
individuals.
do better in the way we treat our employees and be more fair.
Ready?
Oh, right, yeah.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes, with the exception of the appointment of the peace officer, law enforcement officer, and juvenile probation due to the court's consistent noncompliance with Act 57 of 2020 that serves to protect the citizenry from hiring practices of law enforcement agencies that could place policing authorities in the hands of those with a history of misconduct and place their employee, the County of Carbon, and its taxpayers in a position of liability. Two county solicitors and the Commissioners' Labor Council have agreed in their opinions that the courts are not exempt from compliance with Act 57. The court has made no gesture to defend the county in any lawsuit that could be brought forth as a result of noncompliance, nor has it sought the recommended declaratory judgment action to recognize an alleged court authority to unilaterally determine its necessity to comply with Act 57. I find it morally reprehensible for the court not to act in the best interest of the citizens of Carbon County, and in this case, they are clearly not.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Correspondence as listed, copies will be made available to the press upon request. Bid award, refuse collection and single-stream recycling at various county locations. For acceptance, table the award of bid for the refuse collection and single-stream recycling at various county locations for 2 weeks.
Motion. No, I'll second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Invoice report for approval and execution. Children and Youth Services third quarter fiscal year 2022-2023 Act 148 invoice report, which will result in the county receiving $1,298,558.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Domestic Relations, Renewal Agreement Contact Wireless. For approval and execution, a request was received from the Domestic Relations Office for an extension and renewal of the agreement with Contact Wireless of Albuquerque, New Mexico for Text Page Pro messaging program that would be available to the enforcement officers, allowing increased communication with clients in an effort to increase collections. The monthly service for 3 dedicated phone text lines at a cost of $115.09 per month for 12 months. This will be effective August 1st, 2023 through July 31st, 2024.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Agreement with Penteledata for ratification. 1-year agreement with Penteledata to install and service the analog telephone lines, fax and fire alarm for children and youth office at 525 Iron Street at a monthly fee of $24.90 with a non-recurring fee of $140.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
P-Corps renewal. For approval, 2023-2024 insurance renewal with the Pennsylvania Counties Risk Pool for the period June 1, 2023 through May 31, 2024 at a total cost of $452,648, which is an increase of $67,421 with the payment option of 40-40-30. Cost breakdown is as follows. Insurance costs $237,313. Loss fund contribution $223,140, and a loss control credit of $7,810.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Court positions. For approval, authorize the Human Resources Department to process payment to the employees under the jurisdiction of the courts for those positions which were in question due to funding. Payment shall go through the regular payroll process at the rates approved at this annual salary board meeting of January 3, 2023, and retroactive to January 1, 2023.
I'll make that motion with discussion.
Second.
All right, I think, our solicitor, gave us a little bit of an update on what the laws are. And I think for myself, I disagree with some of this. And, the motion that was passed at the annual salary board were for increases that were above the commissioner's proposed rate of the 2023 budget. The commissioner's proposed rates were presented at the annual salary board, and an appeal process would be set up in a few months to update job descriptions with possible outcome of pay increase if justified. The process was not used by the courts. Some of the other, most of them went through the process and okayed the proposal, but the courts did not do that. And the rate for court employees was held at the 2022 rate, not even giving the contested positions a chance for an increase. Currently, there is money in the budget, but to my understanding, it's due to vacant positions. Now, what's gonna happen when them current vacant positions are filled? For example, 4 positions at $40,000 is an increase of this budget of $160,000. If this ripples across the county, just say 15, and we have more than 15 positions that are vacant. 15 positions at $15 an hour, $1,820 or $1,800 a year, that's $409,500. That will force us into a tax increase. I know there's some people that want to do tax increases, but I don't think we have to just on an issue like this. And I've been an advocate for the salaries all this time. I never said that anybody didn't deserve a raise. It didn't matter if they were making $11 or $40 an hour. I never said that. But the way that this is gonna get straightened out, this system has been in place in this county for 30, 40 years, and it's time to change. And the biggest thing that can be done to this county is redo these job descriptions and give the people the proper pay that they should. And, you know, I just look at this now, we're looking at this, everybody always comes up here and they go, oh, the inflation is so high and what are we gonna do with our employees? Well, every week, somebody puts in that they want comp time, okay? I've been against comp time since I've been here. Any place I ever worked or any of my friends ever worked, when you worked over your time, you got overtime or either the time you were compensated. Now we're telling everybody that all of these people are so important, but we're giving them more time off. That's not giving them any more money in their budget. They're still making, if they're making $36,000, they're still making $36,000. If they would have, in fact, someone last week, I think they put in for 5 hours for 5 weeks, and we get this continuous. Wouldn't that be nice if them people had them hours paid for, that they can buy that tomato that they're looking for, or that extra steak that they need? You know, I've never seen a system like this. And I didn't want to bring this up on how people are treated, and I've always tried to treat everybody fairly. It doesn't matter where I was throughout my life. You know, we got a good person here, and now we're picking on people that we're getting new in here. You know, the IT director didn't want to call me up because I advocated for him. He's a young person, and that's what we need, our young people to step up to the plate instead of putting them in when they're 60 years old at a position like this. You know, they have to step up. And, you know, he was denied overtime when he came in. He put all these times in. But the last director that was there, probably for 18 months, got overtime. And then we're looking at it, where are we not treating our people right? We've been doing it. I see that. And I want these people to get overtime. And why is this in here? We're contesting over this money that's in the budget for people that aren't even here. That, and like I said, is this the way the budget was padded to make it look like we're doing a good job? You know, that we always have money to rely on? you know, but I just don't see it. This money that's in this budget, that to me, that's there for these vacant positions. If we got people coming in and they're working overtime, they should be paid for it. There's no other place in the world that I think that you come in and like I said, everybody that comes in here, every department, their employees are so important. They want to give them more money, but we sit here and give them more time off. So that means we don't need them. You're giving them more time off. Does that mean we don't need them? You know, now we got vacant positions, like I said, that people are coming in to cover for the vacant positions and we're not paying the people. But we sit here every week and say, boy, the inflation is really bad. But that's where we mistreat our people. And like I said, our IT director, when I went to a seminar with him, he was asked by Homeland Security to work for them. And he gave that job up. I mean, that was a couple months ago. He gave that job to come here, and he was here for 1 month. And we denied him overtime. We are abusing our people. We got to start helping the people out a little bit better and pay them for the time that they're here. But I mean, and like I said, this thing with this salary motion, you can stand on that all they want. But what is going to be the projected thing for when this money is given to the other employees? What are we going to run into next year's budget? I don't know. Like I said, I'm projecting here. I look at $409,000 already, just for that. So where are we going here? And I don't know. Is it back? Should we get rid of some of these positions? And that would help. And you know what? In our office here alone, now we had a process. One of our employees retired, so they moved up, and the next one moved up, and it kept going like that. Within our budget here, I think I have it on. I think it was like $89,000 or $8,900 we saved in our budget. Colleen retired, Lisa moved up. I think we've saved $8,900 on 3 people. That isn't our money, it's the taxpayers' money. And that goes back into the pot for next year to give raises. Like everybody comes in here and they think everything is their money. It's not. It's the local taxpayer that's paying for it. And I think when we do this stuff, we're abusing it. We're abusing it just by this one little thing where we're not paying these people on just comp time alone. How many people come in here, like I said, that could buy that tomato? Or maybe if they're gonna get $50 extra a week, that they can pay for their gas to get to work. We're not even giving them compensation to get here. And it's plain simple, that's it. So I think everybody can come in and argue over this motion, but this is not right. That's my stance on it. And you can sit here, Wayne, and talk about it for 100 years. This has been going on for 20 years, and now I'm the bad guy that wants to get people wages. So you just keep on your campaign and do what you gotta do.
I would agree 100% on the comp time, except for a few hours because it's carried away, and eventually those people have to take off. But I remind you, you keep saying about the budget, and what was in the budget were the funds for the purchasing director in there for that 2057, and I agree that person needs it, as most the IT people, I agree 100%. And that IT person didn't only leave because of the money, they were treated the way they were attacked at a meeting. So,
Well, I can guarantee you, I never attacked anybody. Maybe
no,
you
I didn't
did,
say it
but I
was
didn't.
you, I didn't say
I
it
don't
was you.
attack anybody,
Yeah,
and you know,
no.
that person, if they would've hung around, they came to other people. I was the one that was working on the salaries, and they came to somebody else, and if they would've listened to me, in fact, even like the election director might have been here too, but they went to somebody else besides me.
And you're saying that we could have probably straightened it out come January 1.
And that was my suggestion. That was when we were having all these meetings about these salaries. Nothing ever happened from October, November, and December.
Okay, so I
So-
would, well, to begin with, those people leaving, yeah, I would have liked to see them stay as well. But to turn around and pay other new people is a lot more money. Was that money put in the budget for that higher increase in purchasing?
And I go back to it again. I don't know if anybody knows how the salary works. You get money through attrition. And when people do retire, we want the people to have a good life to retire. And like I said, just in our department alone, we saved $8,900. That this money is, that person, whatever this person in the next department is moving up or getting, that we can use that money. But like I said, everybody thinks that's their money in that department. I don't look at it. I think these girls here got a decent raise. They moved up, and it's the first day of their job, and we had confidence in them. I mean, when Lisa moved up, if we didn't have confidence in her, I mean, I worked with her every day. You know, if somebody would have came in here and said, well, we want somebody else besides Lisa, they would have had a battle with me because I work with her every day. I see her, and that's how you treat people. You don't treat new people and then abuse them.
But if you go back to the budget, Mr. Arner,
Yeah.
you know, look at what we increased again today. Just our insurance costs for this one item, $67,421. And we set aside $800,000 towards salaries. But what did we do to compensate or decrease that deficit in the county budget? We have been operating at a deficit for 3 years. If you want to, fine, I agree 100%. Those people at the lower end definitely deserve that salary. There's others at the top of the salary or the management level that should be more, maybe some are overpaid, I agree with that. But, you know, nothing was done to compensate for the increases of many things going back. How many things have gone up over the years, but yet nothing was done to decrease the deficit of this county.
Well, this motion is an attempt to rob Peter what the funds for these vacancies to pay Paul, right? Without any concern for the impact on Peter, which in the future, and Commissioner Arner clearly stated, is the county taxpayer, right? And it's also our authority of the Board of Commissioners to set a budget and for taxation. And again, we saw this play out earlier, or mid last year, August, September timeframe in motions that were made. Nothing prohibits the courts from coming back in here next week and saying, I want to hire and fill those 4 vacancies. Nothing prohibits them from doing that. I have no faith that they won't do that. And to support this would just be providing them an opportunity to do that and put us in a position, as Commissioner Arner clearly stated, where one, the budget and taxes have a significant probability of increasing due to our actions in support of this. That's all I have.
May I,
Your Honor?
There are a lot of issues and questions concerning the budget, concerning what the county has done by the salary study, concerning how the county has decided to implement that salary study. On December 8th of last year, this Board of Commissioners distributed to each rural office holder what the Board of Commissioners thought should be paid for each position in each office. That may be a suggestion, but the Board of Commissioners does not have the legal authority to establish the number or the rate of salaries for any position. But that's apparently what the Board of Commissioners wanted to do in that release. I asked a question, and I was told by Commissioner Arner that those positions, those amounts that were handed out by this Board of Commissioners were fully funded in the budget going into 2023. I met with your financial consultant perhaps a month and a half ago, and he confirmed that those positions were fully funded. Not just that they were budgeted, but the monies were appropriated within that budget to pay those salaries for those positions 100%. And that was a change of what the commissioners had done apparently in past years, where they would fund at the earlier year's rate, whereas this year they were going to fund at the 2023 rate as you guys estimated salary should be set. So we come to a salary board meeting, annual salary board meeting on January 3rd. And myself, in differentiation from the other department heads, made motions one by one as to what I thought the positions for my staff should be set at. Ultimately, there were 22 positions that were different than what the commissioners had handed out on their December 8th handout. And those positions were voted on by the salary board and approved by a 3-2 vote. That's what the salary board set those salaries at. That's the way salaries are set in this county under the county code. 2 commissioners on this board said, we're not going to fund it. In essence, we really don't care what the salary board set these salaries at. We're not going to fund it. Okay? Commissioner Lucas Everett says, there's a case by the appellate court by the name of Cadu. And Cadu says, the commissioners fund, the salary board sets. I don't disagree with that law. But Cadu dealt with a different circumstance. Cadu dealt with a situation where it came out of Monroe County, where the salary board and the office holders were requesting and directing the county commissioners to take funds from some other area of the budget. Not from salaries, from some other area. I don't recall what the other area was. And the appellate court said, the salary board is an administrative board. It is not a legislative authority. It does not have the authority or the ability to require the county commissioners to take from somewhere else in the budget and place it where the salary board thinks it should be. That's not what we're asking for here. This board not only passed the budget, they appropriated the funds to fully fund the budgets of the salaries we're talking about. We're not asking you to take anything from anywhere else, other than we're saying you should apply the funds that you budgeted and appropriated for salary purposes to salaries. Now, I've met in addition with Mr. Weiss, who has confirmed, I believe, again at the meeting last week that 2 commissioners were unable to attend, that due to the vacancies in the positions, due to people who have left, who are at higher paid salaries, and left, in part, unfortunately, because county commissioners would not recognize their value and give them some additional compensation, there have been savings in the budget. My court administrator has computed those savings at close to $105,000 for salaries alone. I'm not sure what Mr. Weiss said the savings were, but the cost of what we're talking about, I'm not talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars like Commissioner Arter seems to be throwing around. The cost for these 22 positions, to pay them at the rate that the salary board approved, is $25,514.60. That's, on average, slightly more than $1,000 a position. A number of these positions, under what the commissioners handed out on December 8th, were getting nothing. Not a single cent for an increase in 2023. Some of these people have sat in office and been in those offices for 20, 25, 30 years. And this board said the fair thing to do in light of inflation at 9% is to give these people nothing. Is that the right thing to do? I don't think it is. Apparently 2 commissioners think it is. So, we know the salary board has approved it. We know the monies are already in the budget to pay salaries. And again, the excess savings already is far in excess of the $25,000. My current understanding of the law is that once it's been budgeted, once it's been appropriated, the court has the right to require that it be used for those salary purposes. I've discussed the issue with your solicitor. I believe, and he'll have to speak for himself, that he agrees with that. I know that Commissioner Arner said we've spoken with your solicitor. I don't know what advice he gave you, that's between you and him. But I believe not only the funds are there, the law says it should be used for these purposes. It's not gonna cost the county 1 cent. Even if we would fill these other positions that were vacant today, which is not gonna happen, because we don't even have the people who are willing to apply for them, given the salaries that are set. Even if we do it, people who are filled today are not gonna be given retroactive pay for time they weren't even here. Those savings are there for the year. They cannot be lost. They cannot be dissipated. They are there. So, if the money is there, if the law says it should be used for these purposes, I guess if this motion is voted down, we have 2 commissioners or perhaps more, we're gonna say, we don't care what the law says. We don't care what our attorney advises us. We're gonna vote against it. Now, is that the right thing to do? I think disrespect for the law and disrespect for what the law requires says a lot about the people who wants to vote against that. So all I'm asking is that you do the right thing. You follow the law. You pay people some fair compensation that was approved by the salary board. And let's get it behind us. We're not talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're talking, like I said, $25,514.60 for 22 employees. Of those 22 employees, 6 have already left. Why? Look at the salaries you set, and maybe they'll tell you what's going on. And I think this county needs to wake up and do the fair thing for employees. Commissioner Arner said, we want to respect our employees, we want to do the right thing. Let's do the right thing for 22 employees who you've neglected. Let's do the right thing. Thank you.
Okay, and I'll respond to that too. I think what this salary study was, and I don't think I asked for it, I mean, I sort of did my own salary study, but when I look at this, the way that the money is distributed, you know, I think it was to not have disparity between the lowest salaries and the upper salary. And I look on this here, this person here is gonna get $3.36 under this proposal. And then I look further down the line, this person gets 38 cents. So where is this being fair to any of your employees that are in the courts? When I see this, when I see people that all the way through the salary scale, even if they're, in fact, I think even one of yours in the courts, the proposal that we gave or what we sat down with, I think the one position that you had asked for $18.99 for that one where we had a little discussion for a couple weeks. That one actually got 22 cents more. I think the IT person in the office was, did that person go from 1542 of an increase of $2? So you can't say that we're not looking out for people, but again, I go back to it. And the thing was, people aren't getting paid or being paid fairly. And right here, I look at it again. The top person is getting $3.36, and the ones down at the bottom are getting 38 cents. So who's being fair or not fair? You know, if you want to distribute money, then distribute it money evenly, because the secretary down at the bottom works just as hard as the administrator at the top. You know, and that's my point. And we have, like I said, we have 400 employees to take care of. And and that was the process that this was gonna be. Now, this process, if it's not accepted, and I said, I didn't ask for this. Now, all of a sudden, now, is our appeal process, is anybody gonna appeal anything? Or is there anything in the works for any of these positions to be appealed? I mean, I'm looking at this, I know the courts had asked for an extension, and we denied it, but what's gonna happen? And we're not denying anybody coming back and appeal, even if it was after these, you know, after this. You come back and you have justification. But I said again, I look at it, the main objective that we were looking at was to have a fair wage throughout the whole salary scale, and it's the same thing, it's the same exact thing that was done for 30 years. And, you know, and I'm not breaking the law by being fair to people. If somebody would come in here and say, okay, everybody here is getting the same raise, or whatever's going on, then that could be a discussion. But I still see $3.36 at the top, and I see 38 cents at the bottom. That's my point.
I guess we can selectively choose to apply this law but not Act 57, Judge. I'm sorry. I find that hypocritical for
Do
you.
you want me to respond to that? Because I wasn't
No,
given a chance
because I'm just
before.
saying, you've had your opportunity.
Not to respond to that, Attorney Commissioner,
That's
because
it
you've
is
done this
in
time and
Act
time
57.
again,
I
sir.
mean-
So the Commissioner's done this time and time again. He brings something about Act 57
Sure.
when the court is not given an opportunity to respond. And that seems to be his modus operandi. And I've said, if he wants me to respond to Act 57, because I didn't discuss, I was trying to keep concentrated on the issue that was before you. Now he wants to bring it up again. If you want me to respond, I'll respond. I said this repeatedly in public, and Commissioner Lukasevich doesn't want to hear it and doesn't want to acknowledge it.
I don't acknowledge it because I disagree with your belief
That
that you
has
don't have to
nothing-
comply, Judge
Has
Namath.
nothing to do with this decision or this vote here.
And I agree with that, but Commissioner Lukasevich wants to bring it up. He wants to raise red herrings. It's improper, it's unfair, it's disrespectful.
No, it's not a red herring. You said we should apply the law and we should adhere to the law. It is a law. You were referencing a law. I don't see it as a red herring. It's analogous. It's similar. It's the same.
Ms. O'Donnell, I am ready for the vote whenever they are.
I'm
Ready-
ready to go
I'm ready
ahead
for the
and
vote.
No
do the
further
vote.
discussion?
No further
Okay.
discussion.
Mr. Arner,
No.
Mr. Lukasevich?
No.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
CDBG Amendment Reimbursement Agreement. For approval and execution, amendment to the reimbursement agreement with Family Promise of Carbon County through the CDBG CV Funds Reimbursement Agreement dated November 18, 2021, in the amount of $27,091.93. Previous allocation of $20,047.10.
Motion approved and executed.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Turn it over to you.
You got them all riled up for me now. Under the Agency on Aging, seeking a motion for approval and execution of an agreement between Carbon County Area Agency on Aging and the Advocacy Alliance at a rate of $75 per hour from May 1st, 2023 to April 30th, 2024.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Also for aging, seeking a motion for approval and execution of an agreement between Carbon County Area Agency on Aging and Behavioral Health Associates to provide career employment to BHA students at the Jim Thorpe Penn Kidder Senior Center and to the Panther Valley Senior Center. The agreement will be for the 2023-2024 school year, beginning August 2023 and ending August 2024 at no cost to the county.
Motion approved and executed.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
For the 525 Iron Street project, seeking a motion for approval and execution of change orders number 1 and 2 to the contract with Master Mechanical Corporation of McAdoo, Pennsylvania. Change order number 1 is a credit allowance for boiler repair and demolition of the unit heater in the amount of $1,754.61. Change order number 2 is a credit allowance for additional demo required at the wood ceiling areas in the amount of $2,334.46. The contract remains the same at $521,480.
Motion approved and executed.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Under elections, seeking a motion to authorize the solicitor, me, to proceed with providing a 30-day written notice to terminate the consulting agreement with Lisa Dart of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, which was to provide training and assistance to the Carbon County Elections Voter Registration Office on an as-needed basis. And this was the agreement that was approved March 2nd, 2023 at agenda item number 23-100.
Move to approve.
Second.
So discussion. I disagree with this motion, and the reason I do is that we just made it through the primary election. We didn't have any major problems. Things went pretty smooth, and it was with the assistance of Lisa Dart with the contract and as a consultant. And I want to ensure that come the general election in November, that everything is up and running, everything is accomplished, and we do not have any problems. I can't understand why you would want to terminate this at this time. You show me one good reason, and I just feel to be safe. I don't want to be in the headlines like other counties with election issues. I praised them. I think they did a great job. However, they're there less than 3 months and they got some learning to do yet. And they will be great employees when they're finally totally trained.
We've had a very successful primary election under the new leadership, and the entire team, I've spoken to them, to include just about an hour ago, is confidence in their ability, and so is the election board, that the contracted services are no longer required or desired. Their confidence in their task, absent a contractor, and that's reinforced by the knowledge that they have 66 other elections teams to reach out to, in addition to Tony Galore, who is our Department of State Shore System liaison, in addition to our mail house and ballot printing contractors. While one was providing assistance and it was greatly appreciated, at the same time, there were other activities taking place that were actually undermining in the eyes of the public the new team's ability to carry out the election process. And I prefer not to go into those in public, but if you want me to start by showing, I'm more than happy to go over to that computer and bring up one specific instance and open that can of worm. And then I'll go down to the more serious issues and concerns.
This is nothing that you haven't done to me in the past, was undermining and going on the agenda or having something put on the agenda without my knowledge, telling others to put it on. So I don't want to hear that. This is not the military. I have the floor right now. I do have the floor.
Go ahead.
This is not the military, okay? And the way you come across to people, you intimidate. And a lot of the people in the boards and authorities, I think and the employees are afraid to say anything because of what you might say to them. We have lost people on boards. We have lost employees because of you and the way they were treated specifically. The way you attack people at public meetings is a problem. And you have done nothing but to ruin your own reputation as a commissioner.
So Tuesday, during our update, I remember the 3 commissioners were present. I remember the solicitor was present. I remember the chief clerk, who's not here today, was present. And we spent about 5 to 6 minutes talking about this motion. So this motion was agreed upon during that
It was not gonna
meeting.
be agreed upon to.
It was agreed upon to be put on this agenda.
Agreed.
So do you not recall that 5 to 6 minute conversation?
I do.
Well, you just said a minute ago you didn't.
Well, yeah, but I agreed to have it on, and I wanted to bring this subject to a head.
So
To let
again-
you know what is happening to these boards and authorities. They are advisory boards. They are advisory boards like the animal shelter, the planning and development, and the many other boards and authorities that we have. They are advisory. And you appear, and from what I'm being told, are micromanaging or persuading boards or authorities to do certain things.
Well, we expect our contractors to conduct themselves in a professional manner and within the limits of their contractors. Contractors have no authority to direct, make decisions, or liaise with authorities, yet that has occurred. public comments have been made that serve to discredit the election team. The chain of authority in the office has been circumvented, undermining the authority of that team. So I think it is due time that the contract, given that we went through a highly successful, near complete, fully election cycle. We have an action today and 5 days from now that'll take place. We're grateful for the contract for her service, but the election board, the election team here in Carbon County is confident in our ability to no longer burden the county taxpayer with $100 an hour contractor.
And that person has to be called when really needed. And that's why I think we should make that person available when needed.
Well, we have 66 pro bono people who they can reach out to include then 67 if we talk to our Department of State liaison with the shore system.
And maybe what I'll do, maybe I'll change the tone a little bit here. I mean, Lisa has done her elections in the past and she did a tremendous job. And I think where we got her to come in is to help out. And this was one of the departments that I thought, and everybody should agree with me on this, this is the department that changed, flipped 200% in another direction. The elections have changed, and I appreciate what she did. I mean, she was a loss, I think, to the county. And we tried to work things out and it just didn't work out. But our new directors, they did a good job, you know, the assistant, and I can't, like Jane does a tremendous job, you know, in that office. And the way that the elections have changed, we have to send the department to seminars, just like we do everybody else, and reach out to other departments and even to the state on what's going on. And we can't rely on a service all the time. We put these people in position to do the job. We have the confidence in them, and like I said, I'm not denying that Lisa has not done a tremendous job and helped us through the primary election. That's not it, but I think it's time that we start standing on our own feet for the people that we just hired.
Any further discussion? Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
No.
Okay, for Mock Chunk Lake Park, seeking a motion for approval and execution of a special activities agreement from the Lenape Nation of Pennsylvania for their Native American Festival, Mock Chunk Powwow. That's September 9 and 10 of 2023, pending receipt of a valid insurance certificate.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Also for the park, seeking a motion for approval and execution of a special activities agreement from St. John's Lutheran Church for their Switchback Scamper on October 22nd, 2023, pending receipt of a valid insurance certificate.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
County property, as authorized by resolution number 23-016, a posting was completed to sell the 2007 Ford 500 sedan valued at less than $2,000. No proposals were received by the deadline of 4:30 p.m. on May 22nd, 2023. So I am calling for a motion to dispose of the 2007 Ford 500 sedan as salvage.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
I would need a motion to amend the agenda that was publicly advertised.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Okay, with that amendment for the train station, seeking a motion for approval and execution of a banner permit request for the Weatherly Hill Climb Association Incorporated for the Weatherly Hill Climb, June 10th to 11th, 2023. The banner to be displayed May 26th through June 12th of 2023.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Nothing further for the solicitor's report.
Any further business? Commissioners report?
I do not have anything at this time.
Okay. The water quality was tested at Mock Chunk Lake Park this week. Water quality is excellent. There will be a minimum of 3 lifeguards on duty Memorial Day weekend. That's all I have.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank the Borough of Weisport and in particular Jake Keith Boyer for hosting the Armed Forces Parade this past Saturday in Weisport there. I want to thank all the organizers and people that participated and the residents that came out. Being a small community, of course, it's a small parade and turnout could certainly have been better, but I want to thank them for their efforts on Armed Forces Day and recognizing our military personnel. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., the county will be having their program, memorial program in Josiah White Park, 9 a.m. Hopefully we don't run into too many bells and whistles with the train and the clock tower. And you know, Memorial Day weekend is really a time to reflect on all our losses, all the lives that were lost, the families that were affected, mothers, the fathers, brothers, the sisters, the wives, and especially the children. And I'm sorry I didn't do a good enough job on the prayer this morning. I forgot to grab it. And, you know, those are the ones that suffer the most. I lost an uncle in World War II in Normandy, you know. I've never had the pleasure of meeting. It was before I was born. But we don't forget. We can't forget. And we must make sure, ensure that our future generations know what Memorial Day is really about and the sacrifices that our personnel and the families gave by giving their life in foreign wars. We pray that their families will, you know, survive and strive the best they can in the future. And I pray for those kids that they have a bright future and someone to mentor them as they grow up. That's all I have. Meeting adjourned.
Yeah, and I just wanna put this out there, and I don't wanna do an executive order over Wayne and Chris, but I think it's very important, and I said, I mean, everybody has a connection to what it is, and it's like, I had an uncle that never made it home. I mean, he's buried in a foreign country, and there's a lot of them here that gave their lives up, and I'm just going out to all departments, if you come out to see the program, we will not fire you. I mean, you have to like the post,
No
there has to be somebody there, but,
comp time.
no. But, I don't think we're gonna fire you for coming out for a program that, you know, that honors the people that got us to where we are. I mean, we're safe and free because of them. So, now look at this, everybody's gonna close the office up and come out, correct?
Okay,
All right.
now done, done. Meeting adjourned. Okay, Amy, I think it's your turn.
Good morning, Bill.
Morning.
That was a long one today. Where does it stand with the repairs on the water leaks for this building as well as the 44?
What was that?
Okay, go ahead. You talking about fixing the building here?
Fixing the building
Okay.
and the water leaks, yeah.
The proposal was sent to P-Corps, that is in our insurance group. And there was, when I think I reported on that, it was like $238,000 to do it. And we didn't really sit down and discuss with all the departments yet, and I did talk to them yesterday. But in the proposal, the insurance company is sort of like bucking a little bit because there was off time that they're working. And so I want to talk to them again. I don't think there's any way that we can work on this building while, you know, the people are in the building. So I think what we're gonna have to do is go to that nighttime work and, you know, weekends or whatever's going on. And if there's some way, and I said, we talked about it before, if there's something that they would have to work a Friday, Saturday, Sunday in here, now that is incorporated into that $238,000. Now, the insurance company, like I said, is sort of bucking that a little bit, but I'm gonna, when I call them up, they're sending it to them. So I wanna have a discussion, and I don't see no way, cause I know we discussed it, that we were gonna move people. There's no way we're gonna be able to move people to the courthouse, not with the renovations coming up there, and even in here, how would you move people around? I think we're gonna have to go with whatever that is, maybe, I'd say 75% of it would have to be done after hours or weekends. I mean, there's some stuff that's patching, but I'm just gonna have to stress the P Corps that, and I think Mark will agree with it. How would you work in there with ceiling tile when your people are in there? There's no way that this can be possible. And if that's what their proposal was, in fact, the contractor, that's what he said. He says, we can't work in there during the day on certain things. And I agree with him. So I think it's something that the commissioners and P Corps have to work out. And hopefully, now they're supposed to, on Tuesday, they're supposed to have the proposal at P Corps. So probably Tuesday at 9:15, I will call them and see what, we have to have a discussion with it. And I just don't see any other way of doing it.
With regards to the children and youth move, is that still on, for June fifth there, around that time?
Well, hopefully before.
Yeah,
Hopefully before.
there might be a change. I mean, we want to get them in there as soon as possible, and it's close. I think tomorrow we'll be receiving the occupancy permit, and sort of like with the holiday, we wanted to get it together that they could maybe move personal things out of there, and maybe even come in on the weekend. But with the holiday, we don't want to, and go on the people's holiday for the weekend. So I would say the trucks will be loaded, and they would be moved in one day. There's not going to be a long process of this.
The other update, just on buildings, while we're talking about that roofing project is about complete. Unfortunately, we did plan on replacing the air conditioning units, in the project, and fortunately it died this past week. They put a Band-Aid on it, and hopefully, we're gonna have the ducts cleaned because of, we have to do certain things before they install the new units, but it's a good thing we had that in our plans while we're doing the roof. Want to tear up a new roof, putting these things in, so fortunately, we moved ahead with that for once, we finally made a right decision. So, on behalf of all three of us. Yeah, so, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and do what you can, so.
And the guy that came in this morning that repaired it, he said the Band-Aid should last 3 weeks.
Right.
So we're hoping it doesn't, hopefully it'll run till we see the crane outside putting the new one on.
Okay. Well, let's go back to the salary stuff. I know at the annual meeting, you guys had the proposed one, most of all the row offices except the courts had the proposed that you guys did, had that accepted and then made alterations. The courts did not, but why didn't you guys ever go back and take the ones that you had, the sample that you gave the courts and bring it up to 2023 instead of keeping them at 2022?
Why didn't we take unilateral action to make the motion?
Why didn't the salary board, wasn't that ever rediscussed on that part? Bringing that J sample that you guys sent out to everybody?
The courts had the option to bring that up at every meeting, right? So if
So-
it wasn't brought up as a motion to the salary board,
Okay,
right? I mean,
that's what I
our
wasn't sure.
initial recommendation was to accept, right? And then from there, build your other motions for
Okay.
additional increases.
So the initial one was just never brought up again too?
I don't recall it ever being brought up in a
Okay.
salary board, yeah.
Thank you. And then, with regards to all that discussion, you guys talked about employees leaving. Do you know how many employees have left since the beginning of the year?
I don't know, but I think Samantha might be able to answer, but I think I asked her the other day, there was actually 5 employees that came back to the county. Within the last, I think I have a list, and there was the sheriff's department got some back. There was 5 of them that came back. So, and I said, I think when some people leave, they don't realize what we offer. I mean, this benefit package, and I think Mark can even attest to like our pension. Like our pension is tremendous. I mean, it's like when everybody was losing money, we lost a little bit, but we gained. I mean, we were at like 80,000, I think, or 80 million when I came in here, and I think it was down to like 90-something. So we're pretty good on the benefit package, and I said, some of these things, we're not asking people for more co-pay. I mean, we haven't done that for a while, and it's like, I think some people see that, and it's probably with the gas prices. I mean, you're paying $100 to drive to Allentown, and you're going down there for $2. It just doesn't work out. And I said, I still feel our county is a great county to work in, and I think the county has a bright future with everything that's going on within the county, and I think hopefully all these people will come back.
Amy, I would say you do a disservice if you're just gonna try to look at 1 year of number of people. You have to go back and do the research. All the agendas that include the personnel reports are online. You can go back and count number of people left, number of people who came. Hopefully in the near future, we'll have an HR platform that will allow us to do that instantaneously. I know that Sam is big into leveraging the technology, but right now, unfortunately, you have to go out and, basically go through the agendas and count departures and arrivals.
And, speaking of Samantha, was she on last week's personnel report, cause I don't remember seeing her.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Okay,
Yeah, it's 2 or 3.
yeah, I couldn't I'm like, I don't remember seeing it on
Yeah.
there. And I believe that's it, thank you.
The BHA students helping at the senior center, is that something new, or has that been going on?
I think they did some stuff with other students, at the other schools. It's just something that might be mimicking what the other schools did. I don't think it's nothing new, because even like at the senior games, they always have the they have the students coming in.
It's the
And-
first we've done anything.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
other areas have.
Yeah,
or-
it's just something that's, it was an idea that was just brought to us that other ones were doing.
Do you know what they would be doing at all, or?
I don't know, you'd have to ask the
Okay.
directors, yeah, I mean, they do their regular, they have darts and pool, and I don't know, maybe the kids know how to do cornhole, and that's what they wanted for lessons, I don't know.
Okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.